Like, when I face Michael Todd, believe me, like, I'm willing to break my arm, and so is he. And the rule set should reflect that. So, in terms of like dangerous position, all this stuff, there's no such thing. Like, the referee should never have any power to issue a foul or a stoppage for any position that we want to do. So, yeah, you should be willing to go all the way for any cause you believe in. And if you're one of those crazy people who puts winning at an arm wrestling table that high, then yes. And there are people out there who are like that. And it's been proven, like if you follow the sport, people are willing to die for any number of crazy things, including arm wrestling. Yeah. Now, I want to live forever. Okay? I'm in no rush to die. So, I mean, there's a gray area there, right? Like, I don't want to die tomorrow. Yeah. But I probably will break my arm one day. It'll be terrible. I'm not looking forward to it, but it's probably going to happen. Yeah. Yeah. If you want to win, you got it. You got to go there. You do.
Is the hammer coming back to Canada?
Yeah.
Of course!
It is.
Of course it's going back! Of course!
I'm confident. I know that you know, everyone always has their own plans, and I think that most of my life I haven't said things that I don't believe in. I do believe the next time I face the current hammer holder, Michael Todd, I do believe I'm going to win. How? I think it'll look more dominant than the time I beat him, the first time I beat him. That's what I believe. I think, I shouldn't say, I don't want to get too crazy because it's very important to be accurate. And I really do respect Michael Todd as a champion. I think he's a fantastic champion, and I think that he's pushed the sport. I think he has. I think that he has evolved the game, and I recognize that. But I think that I've seen it, I've taken it in, and I think that when I come to face him, which I believe will be early next year, I think that I'm gonna.
You're ready.
I'm ready. Yeah, I am ready. Yeah. Yeah.
He needs to be ready to die.
Yeah, I'm going. Believe me, I'm going all in.
Why do you think people hate on Michael Todd so much for Kingsmove and don't offend you for
Well, now the first thing I'll say is, I am addicted to my telephone. Okay, so I spend a lot of time on Facebook, and I look at YouTube comments, and but I never really know. Okay, most of the people that say this stuff, most of them I don't know. Now I do know a lot of them, and there is an issue with the movement. There is an issue with the movement, and I'll also say that there is an issue with Michael himself. Okay, some people just don't like Michael. Okay, and that comes through with them looking at something to make fun of him about, and they choose the Kingsmove. And I think that that's an issue. The Kingsmove itself, why do people hate the Kingsmove? I think that there's a couple reasons why people hate it. For one, it is, no kidding, a very advanced move. I don't think that many people off the street, their first move that they learn is a Kingsmove. I personally feel like the Kingsmove is learned normally around the 15-year mark if you're lucky. A lot of times guys pick up the Kingsmove in their 20th year, 25th year, even later sometimes. But it's something that you eventually come to just by dedicating yourself to the sport. It's actually an extremely efficient way to arm wrestle. Anyways, I don't want to, the move's been talked about a lot. I don't really want to break into the technical aspects of it. People do have issue with it also because of the level of specialization that some people find objectionable. So what I mean is, like, so I train for arm wrestling like 3 times a day, every day, and I've been in so many matches, and as a result, you see what's going on here, right?
Yeah.
Right, that's straight. So what happens is the more that this angle comes up, no kidding, the better your Kingsmove's going to be.
So, is it possible that the Kingsmove inevitable move for the arm. If you do arm wrestling long enough because of the stress, the arm gets put to another match?
Well, people develop bony spurs in their elbow. Well, listen, I don't even want to say bony spurs in their elbow. You will adapt to what you do with your life, okay? You will just adapt. Now, I know plenty of people who just press and hook, and they have the same thing, okay? And they cannot Kingsmove because they haven't practiced the actual move itself. Okay, so they have range limitation, but in no way are they advantaged to actually Kingsmove. You have to practice open form top rolling to get better at it. But as the elbow loses range, something happens right before you hit the end, okay? Right before I hit the end of my range, everything kind of tightens. Everything tightens, and the body's designed to protect itself. So if I start to have some crazy amount of back pressure right about here, hey, you bet it's going to help my Kingsmove. And to a lot of people, that's objectionable, you know, and I totally understand that. But the thing is, what do you do? This person's dedicated 25 years of their life to a sport, and then are you going to say, okay? And that's why this is pro arm wrestling, okay? And you're not even going to see it. It's not an issue for most people. Like, you're not going to see it in amateur arm wrestling. You're not going to see it for your first 10 years, probably. It takes a long time.
So you love the variety of the sport and the freedom?
I do. The rules shouldn't be the same for everybody. I wouldn't want to see an amateur using open form top rolls at the end of their range because it's too dangerous, I think. But I think once you cross that threshold to pro, where really you allow yourself to break your arm if you get put in that position, like you're okay with that, you've kind of signed off on it, that person can Kingsmove in my book.
Dedication.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you
Who? Dennis or Levon. Yeah, maybe Levon is going to do it. Yeah, of course, when I'm ready. Yeah, I think the way I see my calendar is somewhere beginning of the WL season, I see myself reclaiming the hammer. I see myself towards the end of the season defending against somebody very worthy that I have not faced in the WL yet, and I'm going to take a shot at having some kind of a WL hammer left-handed. And that hammer will not look like the World Championship, in my opinion. I don't think we're going to get Dennis yet. Maybe we will. That's cool. I don't think I can beat him yet. And then I think somewhere in a year and a half from now, I maybe have an opportunity to touch that crown again. Yeah, but it takes time, and the thing is, that's the way you have to look at it. You have to see far. If you try and do things too soon, you just keep on breaking the thing over and over and over. I think in a year and a half, it's possible for me to pull a Levon or a Dennis or Laletin. In my opinion, that's the guy. In my opinion, Laletin is the guy. So yeah, if I get to pull him in a year and a half, I'm gonna have to be so strong. It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's my best option against a guy of that caliber. That's what I think. With my skill set now, with my abilities now, I think that's the way I would have to go, right-handed. Yeah.
Now, let's consider you have the hammer,
Yeah.
and you have only one match left in your life.
Yeah.
Who would it be?
Well, so I would want to give it, potentially, to the greatest person that I possibly could.
From all time. Let's make it interesting.
And I think that person, I believe that from the East, it will be, it's going to be Levon or Laletin. And I think Laletin can do it, but maybe not yet. But I think in a year and a half, Laletin will do it, but one of those two. Levon or Laletin, I think, are the because from North America, it's Michael, and I'm gonna beat him.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's gonna be me, and then I think it's Levon or Vitaly, or if Dennis comes back. If Dennis comes back, then that's a fantastic choice.
But the shape, I think.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what's possible. The guy impresses me so much, what he's done. I feel like he's set a height that I don't think, I've never seen it. I've never touched somebody's arm and had it be that strong. Ever.
Dennis arm?
Never.
Yeah.
Never. I haven't. I haven't.
I have never not seen so huge in Lodi.
Yeah, amazing. Like whoever beats a healthy Dennis, I don't know. Left-handed, I don't know if anybody's gonna do it. He might retire and be undefeated, left-handed.
The last guy that beat top Dennis was
Yeah, but he only beat him once in a tournament, and then Dennis came back and beat him twice. He never placed higher than him. Am I right? Yeah, he never beat him in a tournament. Just one win.
People in the comments in YouTube videos are talking about you against Bagent. Would be that possible in the future?
Travis, I really like Travis. Very funny guy. Really smart guy. Brilliant arm wrestler. So much of Travis comes down to motivation. Is he motivated to return to a high level of arm wrestling? It's questionable.
Why not? Why is he motivated?
There's a lot of factors. I don't want to speak for Travis, but there are a lot of factors that make anybody believe in any goal. Okay, I have my reasons for chasing strength. For me, I'm a very simple person, and I'll do things just because I like the way it feels, and I don't need anything else but that. But Travis is looking for more than just this. Sometimes I believe. I think what I know of Travis is he is trying to take care of his family a lot. He's very financially motivated, and he understands the amount of time and investment it takes to get to that level. And I don't know that the price tag on it for him is appealing.
Yeah.
Right? So we'll see. If Travis is motivated, it's my belief that Travis is one of the greatest champions that arm wrestling has ever had.
Left-handed.
Left-handed and right-handed. I mean, people talk about Travis left-handed. I would say that Travis's left and his right were both very, very good. And yeah, if he comes back into arm wrestling, he's absolutely a guy I'd love to arm wrestle.
That is true.
I have a question, but maybe in English, half English.
Yeah, it's okay. Deutsch is good.
You say Russia, Denis, to an example, is training very tackle, but you say no drugs.
Right.
But when you see the guy, you see that not with training, don't go.
It's not natural.
Not natural.
Now,
What
I
do
don't
you think
know
about that.
who does what. It's
Not possible.
we can presume, and I would of course presume. But again, it speaks to what are you willing to do for your goal. And in this sport, at that level, you are basically at this point in our development, you are allowed. That's the way it is. It's the way.
You have said you don't want to die to win.
Right. Well, I don't want to die.
Yeah.
I don't. I really like to be alive. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, but
It's super difficult. Have you watched the movie Icarus?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah. Icarus will.
Russia.
Yeah. I don't think that there's any fighting for fairness. I think that this is a concept that is, to me, it's just gone. There is none of that, and I don't think it should be expected. Like until we reach a threshold where the sport is big enough, followed by enough people, where you have hundreds of thousands of people betting money online for every single match. Until then, testing is a dream, and it's just not real, because it will not financially make sense, and even if it did, the test will be circumvented. To do it, you need to do it properly. Like, and everybody knows if people understand the game, they can beat the game. The testing has to be thorough enough that people have to say, okay, this testing actually works, okay, and I'll adhere to it. But right now, there is no such system, even at the Olympic Games. That's what I believe, so people have to make their choices according. People have to decide how much they want to invest. Yeah, you have to choose, you have to pick. And I don't think that the glory from an arm wrestling match is worth dying for. Now, I will say that there's a lot of issues as you age, okay? I think that once you are a certain age, what we're doing is we are playing a sport of smash-up derby, you know, and when you engage in that, your body will break at a certain pace, okay? So there are medical things that, you know, that's up to an individual, their doctor, their goal set, and I think that when you look very closely at modern medicine, there are reasons why you should talk to your doctor, you know, once you reach a certain age. But
why are you no longer a soldier?
That's a very difficult question. Why am I no longer a soldier? Well, I can answer that. So, when I was a kid, I realized that I was not. So I come from, half my family were scientists. Okay, everybody on my mother's side was a university professor. They were all scientists, and I was raised to believe that these were really the good people in the world. Okay, but I am not a scientist. Okay, I can't sit down. I can't read anything. It's not what I am. Okay, and I knew that from very young. Okay, I like to run around and play and smash stuff, and I knew. But what I did believe is I do believe that we're all together. I do believe that that's what makes being a person really great, is what we accomplish. It's for all of us, right? Like one day we're gonna like get to outer space or something crazy, you know. And those are amazing thoughts. And I thought that my contribution to this kind of goal of togetherness, my skill sets, I could be a soldier, and I could add stability to the planet somehow in a small way. So that's why I became a soldier. Did a lot of work. I got to a good unit, and I was able to deploy many times, do the things that soldiers do. But where I worked was kind of a unique place that demanded a certain level of security. And it was about 2014 when arm wrestling started to really grow. Before 2014, whenever I spoke to media and anybody ever asked me what do I do, I was a farmer. Most of the people around me knew what I did, like my friends in arm wrestling knew what I did, but for media, anything electronic, anything print, I was a farmer. Anyways, by 2014, the sport was growing. And it was the unit's fear that, it was their fear that I was going to become an operational security issue. Okay, and I was asked to choose. They said, Devon, you can keep on being a soldier or you can keep being an arm wrestler. And I've been arm wrestling longer than I've been a soldier. I've been arm wrestling since I was a kid, and I said that's impossible. I said, you guys want to choose, you can choose. I said, my life doesn't change. Anyways, so here I am. But I really didn't really want to leave. You know, being a soldier is a great profession, and I just couldn't do it anymore, unfortunately.
Your family and arm wrestling, those two.
Yeah, that's all I got now. Yeah. Yeah, so I grew up as a farmer. So I grew up on a farm, like a farm kid. And I don't want to say that I was an arm wrestler then, I just thought arm wrestling was cool. When I left high school, I went out to work in the oil field. And my boss at the time was a professional arm wrestler, this guy called Devon Larratt. Like 165-pound Wolverine, just so impressive. That's the occupation where I started arm wrestling, as an oil field worker. Yeah. And then shortly thereafter, I joined the military and I just kept on arm wrestling. I used to do a lot of sports, but everything kind of shrunk. I used to do a lot, basically that's kind of an interesting thing. I used to do very, very many things in my training, in my exercise, everything, and everything has shrunk to where I really just look at one thing, very small thing. But I find in that one thing, you know, everything's there.
Plan your training.
How did I plan my training when?
When you have business, how did you
Yeah.
plan your training?
So very important things to think about is always have that goal, okay? Like we all have, like I don't have a lot of issues in my life now, okay? But I'm sure most of you do still. Most of you are working, most of you have jobs, and you have to be flexible. Some of your jobs are probably a little bit routine, and that makes it easy. If your job is routine, you can plan your workouts, you can plan when you eat, you can get everything right. Some jobs, there is no routine. You're on call, you have no idea ever what you're doing. So you really have to learn to become very flexible. You have to learn to always remember what you're trying to do and to seize the moment when it hits. And be looking for patterns all the time. And make things, one of the ways that you're going to get great at whatever you do is through administration. Get your administration so efficient and easy. And by administration, I don't mean necessarily paperwork. I mean your procedures. Make everything take less energy. Everything you do has a cost, and you want to minimize every single one of your costs. So, for example, if I start to know that I'm going to travel a lot, I have my bands with me everywhere, okay? And I can even change the way that I train, okay? If I know that I'm not going to be at my gym where I'm going to be able to hit those perfect exercises with the perfect intensities, then I make sure I'll maybe go a little bit harder and do recovery workouts more. Either way, I think the key is becoming very, very flexible.
What part does nutrition play in that?
Nutrition.
How do you plan your nutrition directly for arm wrestling, or do you just eat like a normal fitness diet?
No, I'm definitely thinking about nutrition. I think that one of the things that I like to think is everything is a wave. Every single thing that you do is a wave. Everything can be looked at as a wave. And when I say that, there are periods of height and periods of lowness. And I think that these are natural rhythms that you have to ride. You can't fight them. Okay, so there's periods when you need to actively eat more, and there's periods when then you need to eat less. When I think about the way that affects me in arm wrestling, I typically will go through periods. Periods where I will eat every single thing possible, as much as possible, and so much of it has to do with carbohydrate. For me, when we talk about nutrition, I feel like the main thing that changes is carbohydrate. I always eat fat, I always eat protein, all the time. That never changes. It's how much carbohydrate do I eat. If you want to get really strong, eat a lot of sugar. I know it sounds weird, but nothing makes you strong like sugar. When you eat high glycemic carbohydrates, when you eat carbohydrates, that is intensity. Your body loves that stuff.
So what do you advise people with diabetics?
You know what? I don't have diabetes, so okay. So, I mean, do you walk a lot? I always thought that if I started to get diabetes, I would walk a ton. Like I would just be low grade, burning more energy all the time. That would be my plan if I got diabetes.
Train 90 minutes a day.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't. I don't know enough about diabetes. For me, when it comes to sugar, when it comes to carbohydrates, it's before, during, and after. Okay? And if I'm trying to get strong, I'll be liberal. Like I don't mind eating sugar before I train, during training, and after training. And if sugar, I'll eat honey. I'll straight up, I will eat cane sugar. I'll do it. Like if I go to competition, like when I start to get close to competition, I will be eating honey. I'll be eating, like on competition day, it's basically the only thing that I eat.
Honey.
Sugar.
Honey, yeah.
Just sugar, honey, anything, high glycemic carbohydrate, chocolate.
We have a little tradition in our training. We eat gummy bears after every training. Because
Yeah.
sugar and,
People talk about processed food like it's the devil, okay? Look, the truth is, processed food works. Processed food gets into your body fast. And if you're burning, like if you're really working out hard and you're exercising hard, you can eat it. And you are gonna fuel that fire faster. Is it something that can be maintained? Probably not. Okay? But when you think about a wave, okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Like when I'm leading up to a competition, sugar goes up, weight goes up, strength goes up. I start to feel disgusting. No more sugar. Okay? I get healthy. I might go for a run or two. You know? Everything works again. Okay, I'm healthy, but I'm weak. Time to eat sugar again.
But when it's going on your competition, you're putting your sugar up?
Yes, sugar. Yeah, if I'm gonna compete, okay, listen, it's different for everybody. If you're in a weight class, you probably shouldn't listen to this as closely. But if you are in a place where you're pulling open, I'm telling you, 3 weeks before I competed, just 2 weeks ago against Wagner, I was eating like 2 dozen donuts like a day. Like, and I'll tell you, you will get ridiculously strong. You will. If you're training hard and you will get fat too. You will. But you will get strong, I promise. And you'll.
Do you supplement like zinc, magnesium?
Not enough. Not enough. I know that I should more. My wife makes me a little tray sometime. Normally what I do is fish oil, glucosamine, vitamin C, and then a whole bunch of stuff I don't know what it is. Yeah. But yeah, not enough. And I'll take protein shakes from time to time, but when I'm at home and I'm eating what I want, I normally don't supplement too much. I'll just eat eggs, meat. Yeah. Yeah.
That is crazy. Sugar.
What are you doing?
Yeah, but then you have to have you can't, like, you will get fatter, but you probably don't want to stay that way. So look I fast also. And that's why I'm saying don't think that I only do these extreme things. I try and bring it back the other way too. Like I will go for periods where I'll walk for like long distances. Like I'll walk a couple 100K on very little food, you know, just to bring my body back to balance. You know, it's important. If you go the one way, you have to come back the other. It's important. But you can't go there and stay there. You have to come back so you can come back up. Everything is a wave. Okay, the more down you can come, the more up you can go. Yeah.
What do you think what is good for preparing your tendons?
Food for repairing tendons?
Yeah, it's better repair.
Okay, so injuries is a massive part of arm wrestling. Okay, if you've been arm wrestling 2 days, you've probably got an injury. And I've had tons of injuries over the years. It was probably around 2012 when I remember growing up in the sport, and I listened to all the old arm wrestlers, and they were all like, Devon, it's a tendon sport. And I never really understood. I'm like, how is it a tendon sport? Like, the tendons don't do much. Like, they're just holding on.